So the first thing that happened this weekend was the first bank of 2026 collapsed. It was taken over. That's the first thing. The second thing in terms of banks, and I'm going to get to the other thing that happened as well, is they are limiting the amount of your money that you can pull out. Okay? So, I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, they silently did something. And if you go to your ATM, I haven't tried it since because I went to my ATM on, I think it was Wednesday or something 2 weeks ago. And I think it was last week. But anyway, my son, he drove me over there. Yeah. So I went to the bank. I went to Wells Fargo. That's where my business account is. And I pulled out $1,000. Two different accounts. And then on Thursday or Friday, they changed it. So now supposedly for certain accounts, you can only pull out, let's say, $750. So you might want to check it out. Now, why are they doing that? The banks are doing that so that if you want more money, you have to walk into the bank. Now, why is that such a big deal? Because once you walk into the bank and ask for your money, a larger amount than what they are going to allow you to have at the ATM, now what they're going to do is they're going to be actually asking you questions. Why do you want your money? What is this money going to be used for? That's right, Christina. That's exactly what Christina, right there with me. You have to justify why you need your money. Can y'all imagine that? So not only are they stealing our money, now they're going to have you justify why you need your money? Yeah, that part. All the WTF, all of that. Okay? If it's over a certain amount, they are going to ask you why you need your money. Now, historically, that is the first step for an impending financial collapse. Okay. Hey, Leah, how you doing? She said, but none of your business. That is one of the steps that happens before a potential, what they call a run on the bank. Okay. They always ask me, I'm always telling them I'm buying a lion. Do you? Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay. So get ready because the pattern, you know how I teach you guys patterns? You know, when I teach you, whenever you see an M in the stock market, that's a pattern. You know how I teach that, right? An M is called a double top, right? And I teach you different stuff. When we see patterns, we know what kind of is going to happen, right? One of the patterns in real societies is whenever banks start limiting the amount of money that we can get out of a bank, our money that they have, when they start limiting it, that is a signal, an indication that something bad is going to happen in the economy. That's a signal, a sign, an indicator. Okay? So one of those is you going in to get your money and then they asking you what you want your money for. Are they allowed to ask you personal questions like that? I don't know if it matters, if they're allowed to or not, because they do. Other countries are starting to not trust the United States, and they shouldn't. Just like we shouldn't. Real talk. So that's the second thing about banks. So first, one bank has already collapsed. I hope nobody in here had money in that particular bank. I hope nobody in here had money in that particular bank. That's the first thing. The second thing is banks are now decreasing the amount of money you can get on an ATM, which forces you to have to walk into the bank. And when you walk into the bank, they're going to be questioning you about how much money you can have and why you want your money.